that's a conversation I feel like maybe they have had it with her. I can't, honestly can't remember. Like I feel like you need to have that Scully conversation with DePaul at some point and be like, you keep saying things are logical or illogical. What is the most logical outcome of what's happening right now?
Right.
This is George Washington. He's not, we don't have holodeck technology. He's from the past.
Why is this the thing that T'Pol is holding on to the strongest?
I don't know. It's a really weird, I mean, maybe
she's been very open in other ways. Other Vulcans are telling her she's speaking with a human accent and showing too much emotion. So and I've noticed the change in performance and storylines with her as well. She's definitely softening towards the crew. She feels more at this point. I think it's fair to say that she feels more connected to the Enterprise crew than the Vulcan society back home in a lot of ways.
Sure.
So it's weird that this one thing that the Vulcan Science Institute says is not true, and she's been presented with tons of evidence that says that maybe they should reconsider what they thought before, at least. She holds on to that very strongly. Maybe with a slight twinkle in her eye towards the end of this, where she's like, maybe I will reconsider what that means and whether or not I'd like to have sex with you, Jonathan Archer, and then she walks out the door. But it's a strange thing to cling on to.
Maybe I can go back in time and be that Vulcan woman on Earth in the 1950s coal mining town. I mean, I think you could drive towards what I'm saying with that conversation where it's like she holds on to logic as the ultimate decider about truth, right? So you present her with this thing and she's like, I can't believe this because it is completely illogical for this to exist. And then finally she has to admit that the logic is flawed in this case. And maybe it's logic as a be all end all is not as infallible as the Vulcans think it is.
What's interesting about it is that it seems like the kind of thing that is primed to have the Vulcans treat it as though it is a group of sci-fi nerds debating how time travel works. Like the way that the Vulcans would say it's illogical is you point out the plot inconsistencies with how is this supposed to work. And that works in universe, I think. And it also is kind of a meta contextual commentary on the show at the same time. I'm just her feedback is always, they said it can't happen, therefore it can't happen. She never gives a good reason as to why this can't be the case or what her other suggestion would be. I think that's what's missing from it.
Yeah, you think the Vulcans would have like a Doc Brown discussion of like timelines, like those things you can find online now that are just timeline maps of Star Trek through Kelvin and Discovery and stuff.
You're right, where all the lines intersect with each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be hilarious if there was one Vulcan character who came onto the show to explain why time travel can't work, and he would just sounded like an internet nerd talking about why Primer doesn't actually make any sense.
Right. You refer to them as Terminator rules, or just get a little clever. Call it like the T1000 model or something. Not make an explicit reference, but just something.